monster, David El Monstro Benavidez. David Morrell weighs in at 174.2 pounds. 174.2. At this point, we don't want to see the fighters too close to each other. It's a true grudge match. The stakes are high. This is the last time they'll face each other before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night for the unified light heavyweight championship of the world. The Mexican monster, David El Monstro Benavidez versus David Morell.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to go over the weigh-ins. Tomorrow night we have the huge card from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, headlined by David Benavidez versus David Morell. If you pay attention to the channel this past week and the week before, we featured 3 of those fights, starting off with the fight between Pitbull, Cruz, and Angel Fiero, the Clash of Mexico, and then moving forward with the fight rematch between Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton, and then obviously culminated with the main event, the Battle of the Davids. In this video, we're gonna together watch the weigh-ins. If you haven't watched my prediction video yet or the breakdowns, all that stuff is tagged in this video. To get started, let's watch the weigh-ins of the Battle of Mexico between Pitbull Cruz and Angel Fiero. Guys, this fight is taking place at 140 pounds.
Face off before their 10-round duel with very special WBC commemorative David Lopez. This fight promising to be all action. 10 rounds of publicity. These are Pitbull, Cruz,
Alright guys, that is intensity personified. Both guys look great on the scales, and this is a Battle of Mexico. We know Pitbull Cruz wants to be a world champion again, and we know Angel Fiero wants to get his name and his credibility out there in the international boxing scene to let everybody know that he is a force to be reckoned with. If you watch my prediction videos of all 3 of these fights, this might be surprising to some of you guys. Even though Fiero is a 7-1 dog, this is the fight I'm most worried about for my parlay, because I took Pitbull not only to win, but he has to win by knockout, which makes those odds then 2-1 in Pitbull's favor, because neither guy has ever been knocked out before. So if you're feeling froggy like myself, take Pitbull 2-1. He can't just win though, he has to win by knockout. Now let's watch the weigh-ins of the rematch between Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. Alright, now Stephen Fulton's known as Cool Boy Steph, but follow Brandon Figueroa's career and you could say that about him as well. We know in the first matchup, Fulton won a majority decision. Half the people gave the fight to Stephen, the other half gave it to Brandon. Now, depending on what side you chose, that fight was in November of 2021. Fast forward to February of 2025, that's almost 4 years ago. The odds makers are actually on Figueroa's side. He came in about a plus 150, and Fulton's about a minus 200, meaning $100 on Fulton gets you 200 back, 100 on Figueroa gets you 150 back. My bet is Brandon Figueroa. I like him in this rematch. I can't say enough about, in my opinion, my gut instinct on the loss Fulton took at the hands of Inoue, how he lost. I don't want to drive that point home any farther, but that is my reasoning, and time will tell to see if I'm correct. Let me know in the comment section below who you like in the rematch, Figgy or Cool Boy. Now let's watch the final weigh-in between the two Davids.
At this point, we don't want to see the guys too close to each other. It's a true grudge match. The stakes are high. This is the last time they'll face each other before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night for the fight. Light heavyweight championship of the world. The Mexican monster is
They won't even let the two Davids get close to each other. I did a feature about this fight and I gave you my prediction. And then yesterday in our comment post section, I asked you guys, if you're betting on Morell, who is about a 2-to-1 underdog, and you think he's going to beat Benavidez, I wanted to ask you guys what you see in Morell in his game to think that he could go in there and beat Benavidez, because personally, I don't see it. Now, I was talking to some of you guys online and I was saying, look, it doesn't mean I'm not a Morell guy. I know about his backstory. I'm not a boxing sort of fanboy for any of these fighters. I started boxing as a 7-year-old, so I always put the sport above a fighter. And when I talk about I don't see in Morell, I'm just talking about my experience of knowing the sport, being around the sport. I think Benavidez is too dynamic. I think he's going to be more active. I think he's going to show Morell things that he hasn't seen before. And I know about the amateur experience, but guys, this is not the amateur game. 11 pro fights versus 29 pro fights. To me, that is significant in giving the nod to Benavidez. I also like his size advantage, and I just think his championship experience is going to be too much for Morell. I think that fight is going to be fun and entertaining and interesting in the early rounds. I just don't see Morell overcoming all of those variables that I aforementioned. If I'm wrong, I'll be doing my video the following day saying, guess what, guys? I was wrong. So I don't want you to get the hint or think that this is a channel that just because I think a guy's gonna lose, that I'm hating on him. I'm just talking about from what I see from a boxing perspective. I think this is more of a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 fight, and that could be controversial. This is my opinion. I don't think it should be, the odds should be as close as 2-to-1. I think Benavidez is gonna look great here. All right, that's the weigh-in show. Who do you guys like in these fights? Leave it in the comment section below, and whoever you pick, good luck.